Hello, this is Project 1 for Mechatronics for Dr. Yasser Ishmael. My name is Jalen Toaston, and I will be presenting the project starting now. The main focus for the project overview is the purpose of this project is to construct and control a robotic manipulator using the PSOC and the servo motors. The servos were programmed to rotate between specified angles with appropriate delays, and additionally the LCD screen would be set up to display the output as part of the system. So now we will get to the design aspect of the project. So this is the design of the servo here. We're calling it PWM_1. For the first PWM, that will be shown as servo 1. PWM2 will be shown as servo 2. We also have to implement a clock, and that was also connected through the servos as well. And also it will be using a 16-bit reset button for the reset to be 0. I don't know what that's saying. This right here is showing the display of the PSOC. I will be showing that later on in the video, but servo 1 will be used using servos. Servo 1 will be connected using 6, and servo 2 will be for 7. Never mind, my correction. Servo 1 would be for output 7, servo 2 would be for 6. And now we will be getting to the code aspect. This code is what will be used to show the rotation between the servos, between the both of them. So I'm going to show this. So for theta 1, that will be servo 1, and theta 2 will be servo 2. As you can see here displayed, those numbers are for how wide we want the servos to rotate, or what directions we want them to turn. It will have the minimum, the max, and also the angles. So for servo 1, we have 180 here. That's going to be doing the full 180, and I will display that when I turn on the device. Going down to theta 2, which would be servo 2. Servo 2 has the max and the minimum at -90 going to 90. As said before, those two values are how we can dictate how far we want them to turn, or how far we want them to rotate, so we can make sure they line up perfectly as displayed in the videos that were given to us to watch to get the code. Going down a little bit further, this is just explaining which servo is which and which way it's supposed to rotate. Servo 1 would be going clockwise, servo 2 would go counterclockwise. This is just displaying which is which and how far we want them to go. As shown before, for servo 1, it would be 0 to 180. You can see here as well, for servo 2, it would be -90 to 90. Let me see. And now I will display the servo running. I'm gonna let it run for a second just so you can get a full view of the object. So servo 1 is here. That one is doing the full 0 to 180 rotation. The one that is on top of that, that would be servo 2. That one is doing -90 to 90 as it just did, clearly. Now, if it wasn't able to operate, it would be a stutter motion. Only one of them would be moving. So if that was to happen, we would have to go back into the control for the code, change these number values, and we can determine how far we want that to be able to rotate as well. But since we're getting the full 0 to 180 and the -90 to 90, that's showing that we had our code correctly implemented. This here is the PSOC. The PSOC is a device that holds the code, and this is the wire, USB, going into the computer. That's transmitting the code from the computer into the PSOC. We also have these wires going for the VCC and the VDD. We have a ground and a source as well, as you can see here. And also for the servos, they have their own implementation wires. You have to put a ground in the VCC and which angles that you want it to go as well. And also looking here, we also have to make sure that when you plug in the USB that your light turns on. If not, then either your PSOC is maybe overheating or you didn't solder it right. At the bottom, you can see there You have to solder the pieces to the PSOC as well. This is the breadboard. This is what's used in order to make sure that connection is established, and we also have power. If we didn't have power, then our servo itself would not be rotating and the project would not be operational. That concludes my video of showing the operation of servo 1 and servo 2.